66 million years ago, a firestorm ended an empire. But imagine, if it hadn't. If that single asteroid had missed by only minutes, what kind of world would we be living in today? It's one of the greatest what-ifs in Earth's history, because the impact that destroyed the dinosaurs didn't just erase creatures, it erased possibilities, entire futures, gone in seconds. But what if the Age of Reptiles had continued? What if their world never fell and ours never rose? At the time of the impact, Earth was thriving, a supercharged planet of heat and color. Jungles wrapped the continents from pole to pole. Rivers shimmered through fern valleys. And above it all, the dinosaurs ruled. In every shape, every size, every niche imaginable, the oceans were patrolled by monstrous predators, the skies filled with leathery wings, and the land shook under the weight of titans. Tyrannosaurs stalked the forests of the north. Titanosaurs grazed the floodplains of the south. The air was thick, the days humid, the nights loud with the chorus of ancient voices. If that asteroid had missed, nothing would have stopped them. The dinosaurs weren't fading, they were thriving. In fact, new species were still evolving, adapting to climates, to prey, to power. Their time was far from over. And so, in this alternate Earth, the Cretaceous never ended. The skies remain blue with pterosaurs, and the continents keep shifting, slowly separating as they still do in our world. But this time, evolution takes a different path, one without mammals taking the crown. Without extinction to reset the board, the dinosaurs continue to dominate. Mammals stay small, hidden in shadows. No primates, no humans, no civilization, just the endless rain of scales and teeth. The warm global climate would have persisted, rich with carbon and oxygen, allowing gigantic creatures to flourish. Forests of towering conifers, cycads, and flowering plants would have stretched across continents. Insects the size of a man's hand. Amphibians like small crocodiles lurking in the swamps. And above them, the giants, evolving ever further. Intelligence was already stirring in the Cretaceous world. Some dinosaurs like Troodon had large brains for their size, sharp eyes, complex behavior, perhaps even tool curiosity. Given another 60 million years, who knows what might have emerged? Would intelligence have evolved again, not in mammals but in reptiles? A world not of humans but of thinkers covered in scales? It's possible. Evolution rewards adaptability, and dinosaurs were masters of it. Herbivores might have developed communal behavior like elephants. Predators, complex cooperation like wolves. Some could have learned to manipulate objects, communicate, build. The very beginnings of civilization, in claws instead of hands. But the earth beneath them would have changed, too. As continents drifted and climates shifted, new species would have adapted to deserts, tundras, and ice. Feathered predators might have taken to colder lands, their bodies insulated by downy coats. Giant sauropods could have become rarer, replaced by smaller, faster grazers. In this world, evolution still moves forward. Only the players are different. Perhaps on one continent, a species of bird-like dinosaur begins crafting nests of woven branches, not just for warmth, but for status. On another, packs of feathered raptors learn to communicate with chirps and gestures, developing the early seeds of language. And as millions of years pass, their societies would form, rivalries spark, alliances shift. Civilization, not human, but saurian, might have emerged beneath twin suns of an endless tropical sky. If you love exploring worlds that could have been, and the hidden paths evolution never took, subscribe for more journeys like this one. But even in this world of endless survival, danger never vanishes. Volcanoes still breathe fire. Seas still rise and fall, and the forces of nature remain indifferent. Because even without an asteroid, extinction always finds another way. And deep beneath the soil of this imagined Earth, the next great trial is already awakening. But the Earth still had one last secret to reveal. In this alternate Earth, 60 million years after the missed impact, the age of dinosaurs has not ended. It has only transformed. What was once raw instinct has become structure. What was once dominance has become design. Civilizations of scale and feather now rise from the soil of deep time. Imagine cities grown like coral, vast mounds of living stone built by reptilian architects who shaped the world not with tools of metal, but with the materials of nature itself. Bone, resin, and volcanic glass form spires that glisten under tropical suns. In the dense equatorial forests, herds of herbivorous titans move through cultivated clearings, guided by smaller, intelligent raptors who tend to the groves. A living agriculture evolved not from invention, but from cooperation, instinct refined by intelligence. Some species have taken to the skies entirely, building colonies high in cliffs and treetop fortresses. Others dwell beneath the seas, descendants of mosasaurs and plesiosaurs, their minds adapted to the dark, communicating with patterns of bioluminescent light. An entire biosphere ruled by thought, not merely survival. But intelligence brings conflict, even to dinosaurs. Predators no longer hunt only for food but for territory, for belief, for dominance of ideas. And soon, from these rivalries, something like politics begins to form. Feathered philosophers debate the order of the world. Cold-blooded emperors proclaim dominion over the lands. The age of saurian empires begins. In the deserts of what we would call Africa, an empire of horned dinosaurs has risen. Their sandstone fortresses surrounded by rivers diverted through carved channels. They worship the sun, the eternal giver of heat. Across the oceans in what would have been South America, avian-descended raptors build societies ruled by song, their language a complex system of trills and harmonics, more intricate than any human tongue. And in the far north, where the climate has cooled, small, clever species of troodontids light fires not for warmth but for art. They etch symbols into volcanic glass, painting their own history in the light of molten stone. If the asteroid had missed, this could have been the legacy of Earth, not humans, but saurians. Civilizations sculpted in the image of the reptile mind. But evolution always carries its shadow. As knowledge spreads, so does ambition, and with ambition comes the inevitable. War. Empires clash across the continents. Gigantic reptiles armored in bone and metal collide in thunderous fury. Forests burn, rivers boil. The intelligent dinosaurs, for all their brilliance, fall into the same trap that every thinking creature faces, the illusion of control. They shape the land, alter the weather, mine the crust for energy to feed their endless expansion. The world grows hotter, the balance tilts, and without realizing it, these new masters of Earth begin to summon their own extinction. Even in this imagined world, evolution cannot be stopped, but it can be undone. As climates spiral out of control, storms sweep across the continents, glaciers melt, seas rise, volcanoes awaken, and once again, nature begins to reset the clock. If this story is pulling you in, subscribe now. There are many more worlds to uncover together. In the deep oceans, intelligent sea reptiles sense the shift first. In the forests, the feathered empires fracture. And high above, in the thin air of the mountains, one small saurian looks to the horizon and wonders if there has still time to change what's coming. Because even on a world that never lost its dinosaurs, the pattern remains the same: creation, domination, destruction, renewal. And somewhere in that endless cycle, something new waits to be born. But the Earth was not done yet, not even close. The great saurian empires crumble. Their shining cities of bone and glass lie silent under the returning forests. Rivers reclaim the stone channels carved by claws, and vines coil through the ruins of their works. Once again, Earth is free. Free from the fever of civilization, free from the illusion of permanence. The atmosphere cools, the storms fade, and what remains are survivors. Fragments of the old world scattered like seeds on the wind. Tiny feathered creatures scurry through the undergrowth, gathering the remnants of what came before. Some take to the skies, their wings carrying them to new lands. Others burrow deep away from the cold. From the ruins of brilliance, life begins again. Smaller, humbler, but still burning with that ancient will to endure. And this is the true story of Earth. No matter who rules it, Life always finds a way to begin anew. Had the asteroid missed, the dinosaurs might have built wonders beyond imagination. But they too would have faced the same truth, that every empire, no matter how vast, returns one day to dust. Perhaps the Saurians would have reached for the stars, crafting ships of organic crystal that drifted beyond the blue. Perhaps they would have looked upon their own planet and realized what we so often forget, that life is not about domination, but balance. Yet even in this fantasy, even in this world that never was, the lesson remains. The earth does not belong to its rulers. It belongs to time. And time, patient and unyielding, would have waited for them to fall, as it waits for us. The forests would have grown back. The seas would have calmed. And in the silence after civilization, a new dawn would have come. Imagine standing there, in a world millions of years after the last Saurian empire fell. The air thick with mist, the ruins hidden beneath layers of soil, fossilized beneath roots and stone. Creatures evolved from those ancient survivors now walk the land. Not dinosaurs, not mammals, but something new. Something shaped by both their legacy and their failure. And maybe, just maybe, those beings would look upon the petrified remains of their ancestors and ask the same question we ask today. What if the past had gone differently? Would the world be better? Or are all worlds destined to follow the same circle? Birth, rise, collapse, renewal? Because that's the secret of our planet. Whether it's ruled by reptiles, mammals, or anything else, the story always ends the same way. With the earth reclaiming what was hers. The oceans will swallow empires. The forests will rise again. And the bones of kings, be they scaled or human, will turn to dust beneath her feet. In the end, perhaps it doesn't matter that the asteroid struck. Perhaps extinction was never a tragedy, but a transformation, a passing of the torch. Because without it, there would be no us. No eyes to wonder, no voice to ask, no story to tell. And maybe, somewhere deep beneath our skin, in the most ancient part of us, the dinosaurs still live, not as monsters, but as memory, as the whisper of a world that almost was. So if you ever look up at the night sky and imagine another Earth, one of scales and feathers, of reptilian cities and thunderous hearts, remember this: it could have existed, it nearly did, and perhaps in some distant corner of the cosmos, it still does. The reign of the dinosaurs never truly ended. It simply changed shape. And in every bird that sings, their story continues. Forever.